There has been some passionate conversation online about how Thunderbolts is taking IMAX theaters away from Sinners, and I wanted to make a video about IMAX scheduling and how all that works. But I have to start off with some great news that came out today. Sinners is returning for an additional week of IMAX 70mm showings starting May 15th. I'm so glad this movie is doing well at the box office, and I'm glad at how popular the IMAX showings have become. I had a feeling it would return later this year, but May 15th is much sooner than I was expecting. But why couldn't they just add another week to Sinners right now? Why not just extend the runtime? So IMAX is not just a format. It's a Canadian corporation that came up with the technology and specifications for these huge screens and the camera and projection systems of these various formats, both film and digital. They essentially are the gatekeepers of the brand and are involved with the movies that use their tools or are shown on IMAX screens. They are also involved in making sure that local theaters are keeping to their specifications. And this is where the whole business side of things affects movies like Sinners. Since there are many movies throughout the year that studios want to give an IMAX release, there are some that get as little as 1 to 2 weeks on IMAX screens. Filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, who is heavily invested in the format, and then big blockbusters that are likely to do very well, may get more time than that. Ryan Coogler's film was not a guaranteed success. Not because it wasn't good, but because studios can be cautious about original films. Also, the hype that grew around the IMAX screenings for Sinners was surprising to some. When IMAX and the major studios were creating agreements for the IMAX schedule this year, Disney likely had strong negotiating power for having Thunderbolts in IMAX immediately during its opening weekend. While Marvel has been struggling recently, the MCU has historically been very successful. While with Sinners, Warner Brothers may have decided that 2 weeks was enough time. During the Barbenheimer era, Universal's Oppenheimer was scheduled to be in IMAX for almost a month, and ended up getting an extension for another few weeks, plus some re-releases in the next year. Warner Brothers' Barbie did not open with the IMAX showings, and had them later in its release window. The unfortunate thing with the business side of IMAX is that there's not a lot of room to move things around. Agreements for the other movies have already been made, and Disney is desperate for a strong Marvel opening weekend, and they were unlikely to budge. The saving grace was that the IMAX release for May 15th was Final Destination Bloodlines. From which studio? Warner Brothers, who made the smart decision to take advantage of the momentum the film has had and give people the opportunity to experience Sinners in 70mm IMAX for the first time or to do it again. Taking these 9 North American theaters away from Final Destination will probably end up better financially for the studio anyway. If you have the opportunity, I'd say go for it. If IMAX 70mm isn't an option for you, I would still encourage you to have the theatrical experience with Sinners. Also, welcome to MicroStreams Movies and TV. My goal with this channel is to provide literally micro streams, short, digestible videos of my thoughts on movies, TV, the film industry, and other things related to arts and entertainment. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.